Hi. Okay. So welcome. Cheers. This is the first edition of. So what I'm doing in What's Your Poison, every now and then I'm going to have a special, what I'm going to call Whisky Storytime Hour. This is it. So cheers to you. Have a whiskey with me. Get something out, and I'll tell you a little bit. So I've got a couple of well, cheers. I've got a couple of really amazing interviews coming up that I've just taken like a year or so to put together, and I'm excited to try. But what is the Whiskey Storytime Hour? There are some things. So I've just gone through such a weird experience, such a mad experience that I've just wanted to I wanted to say it out loud so that it actually existed in the real world because it's so fucking crazy. Sorry, what I was just doing there was checking which camera was on because my eye line was confusing me. And there are a few of them I realized. So I think I'm going to probably do 3 or 4 of them this year. And there's some mad stories that are somewhere in my brain. I'm super forgetful because I like work on a lot of projects and I'm doing a lot of things. I keep forgetting some of these stories until other people remind me. I was reminded the other day about when I was at the Cannes Film Festival with my movie. I think I put something on Instagram and like just how I went around from person to person to person. So I met this one Polish guy who ran an LA distribution company who took my film home and came back quoting it the next day, put me on a helicopter, bought me champagne, crazy stuff over there. One of the maddest stories of that, I think, because some of it's a bit dodgy, and there was like a statute of limitations, is the story of essentially of the SSL and AMP Studios in Maboneng, which I'm going to bring on my bestie and business partner Cole. We're going to have some whiskeys because there's a lot of trauma in that story that I think we need to get out. I think we need to dispel the demons out of that story. But that is a fucking crazy story. That is one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. But I've just gone through something just really bizarre. And at one point, I thought I was going to be a billionaire. And then it all fell to shit. But it was quite a unique set of just a unique, crazy thing. And I even spoke to like experts in the industry, and they confirmed, dude, what's happened to you is not normal. So it was quite a hurricane, and it's gone through, and that's why I think what I will do is just again the Whiskey Storytime Hour. I welcome you to it, and what I'm going to give you some extra special info on this one. Pour yourself a whiskey, sit down and chill, and and see. So this is just to recap. What's Your Poison carries on as it is, but occasionally when I feel like it, I'm going to bring in a special person or do a solo one like this one, and we're going to do the Whiskey Storytime Hour. What's Your Poison Whiskey Time Story Hour edition. So this is the first one, and welcome to it. I'm going to take a sip. You pretend there's some new jingle that goes Whiskey Storytime Hour edition, but there isn't. I've been drinking tequila before this, so I'm still warming up. Okay. When I say NFTs, I know that your eyes are going to glaze over most likely, but it's important. So NFTs, I'll speak in sort of layman's terms because I was a layman. So a month ago, because of the work that I do in this digital space, I was like, I know what an NFT is. It's a non-fungible token. Everybody knows an NFT is a non-fungible token. What the fuck is a non-fungible token? And I know people are trading it and making money and dealing in crypto and all that crap. And I was just like, look, this stuff keeps coming out. It's central to the work that I'm doing. I'm interested in things that are in art and music. And one of the good or bad features about me is I like to learn stuff. I've like the way I learn things is if I want to know, like, okay, what is TikTok now? I will get into TikTok like a fucking madman. And I will be like a teenager on TikTok. I'll learn everything about TikTok. When I was playing in TikTok, when I first tried to get into it, I was trying all these different things. One of the things I did is I cut my movie into 91-minute versions as clips and posted them on TikTok to see what that would do. And I tried different experiments with TikToks, and I became a TikTok fan. And I was live streaming on TikTok, and I was working with TikTok. Like in a month or in 3 weeks, we did a test for this top 40 show. I just get super deep and mad into it. And what I tend to do when I'm trying to learn a space is I get in there and I shake it all up and I break some shit and I lose things and I make things up and I get invested and then I leave and I never go back there. But that's what kind of makes, the saying, jack of all trades. And so I kind of know a little about a lot. I know how to do, I know all these like technical things, but I'm not really good at anything, because I just get in. But then when I'm working with someone else who's maybe working in TikTok, I can immediately go, no, that person isn't good, or that person doesn't know what they're talking about. Because I sort of know what an idiot, I know how it's like guitar, with the guitar, it's easy to sound good, but it's hard to be good, and that's my personality. I'm always getting to that point where I look like I'm competent at something and then I kind of busk the rest of the way, but I'm never really good at anything. That's my approach to learning things. So I got to the point where okay, well, I need to know what this NFT and crypto shit is. I've had a few thousand rand in Bitcoin, which is now flat, for like 3 years, and sometimes it goes up. So I don't know what, but I know that it exists, and I know that I ought to know more. And there are smart people who do know more. So in the work that I'm doing, going back and forward, I was deciding, okay, I'm gonna get myself into NFTs. I'm gonna figure out NFTs for a little bit. I'm gonna get my hands dirty and I'm gonna just figure it out. That's what I want to do. So I started looking in the NFT space, and the first thing I was doing is look deep. I mean, because here's the thing about NFTs. Oh, well, maybe I should take it back. If you don't know what an NFT is, an NFT, the way it's kind of sold, because now I'm like a bit of an expert, I'm like an armchair expert. I know how to sound good, but not how to be good. Um, when you, well, okay, so let's talk about NFTs first. And this is not to educate you or bore you. It's just to give context to the insanity of what is gonna come. Because a month ago, I was just like you. I knew fuck all about NFTs except, dinner time conversation. Oh, NFTs, they're really important. They're the future. It's the blockchain. I knew all the words. Now, no, now I do know, but then I didn't know. So, um, so what is an NFT? An NFT is a non-fungible token. This is the basic thing that I learned about NFTs. The image, that people are selling music and art. I mean, art has been a big thing, but that's all crashed now, probably because the industry is evolving. But that one of the hard things to comprehend about an NFT is like, why would anyone pay for that picture? I don't know if you know Bored Ape Yacht Club's the biggest NFT in the world. Like one of them's like $10 million. Now, why would anyone pay $10 million for a little picture of a monkey? That's the whole NFT conversation. Or, if you look on TikTok, because I do, there's these things like people going up to someone with a Lamborghini going, would you swap your Lamborghini for this picture of a monkey? And the guy would go like, no, are you crazy? And he's like, ha, 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 this monkey's worth more than your Lamborghini. Why? The general thing is like, that's really the layman's terms of it. But actually what makes NFT special is, now I sound like a douche doing, like, I'm just trying to give some context. So I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to make, if you're new to the NFT space, understand what it's like. So what the NFT is itself and its rarity, and that is one thing. There is something there in the artwork part of it, but it's something called utility. Like, what can it do? And what an NFT can do that a normal art, like a Mona Lisa, can't do, is it can evolve. So you can, because an NFT is essentially like a program, like a computer program, you can sell someone a piece of artwork that changes every day for the next 2 years. So it's a different artwork in 2 years because it's a piece of digital programming, and that has some value. So that's what was interesting about the art world about it. But then the other thing about it, which is crucial to this story, is utility. And why Bored Ape Yacht Club are a big deal is not because their images are so cool, because of the utility that they have. And now they're already selling land in the metaverse worth $150,000 to buy a piece of land, or $25,000 to buy a piece of land in the metaverse. Well, that's fucking crazy. The metaverse is not real. It is if you invested in it. I'm not trying to tell you not to invest in there. I'm not a financial advisor, a crypto advisor. Okay, so if that doesn't make sense, what that means is what can your image unlock? So I can sell you this NFT, and this NFT can unlock something amazing, a special game, and you can play this character that you've bought in that game that has value, and you're sort of investing in the process. So if you buy my NFT for $1,000, you're investing in me to build the utility that I said I want to build. And as I build my utility, your NFT becomes more and more valuable. And that's what's interesting about it. Anyway, you don't have to know any of that crap. You just have to understand NFT, little picture of a face that's cute, utility. Utility is what the thing can do. What can this image unlock? And the other thing about the NFT is when you buy an NFT picture, let's say you buy a picture of Father Christmas, you literally own that picture. And I know people say, oh yeah, why don't I just screen grab it off of the computer? Yes, you can do that. But when I say literally own, I mean, you could have a t-shirt range with a Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you own that Bored Ape Yacht Club, you paid for $10 million. You own the actual image. You can make cups. You can make a TV program. You literally own that. And if anyone else uses that image, you can sue the shit out of them. Okay. Long preamble NFT environment. What's Your Poison? Whisky Storytime Hour preamble. Okay, time for a sip of whiskey. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I need to figure out what's happening in the NFT world. And I start trying to get it. And here's the other thing about NFTs. It's not easy to buy one. Like, it isn't like you go to the shops and buy one, or you go on a website and buy one. It's not like that. You have to first take your money. You have to put it into a crypto. And excuse me, there's various crypto, different NFTs use different blockchains. So Ethereum is one, Polygon is one, Phantom is one, Solana is one. So when you choose an NFT, the one that you want to buy, you have to pay for it in the currency that it's built into the blockchain on. I'm not explaining blockchains to you. You can fucking Google it. So if you're buying an Ethereum NFT, you have to have Ethereum. And if you want to have a Polygon NFT, you have to convert your Ethereum to Polygon using wrapped Ethereum, which is really confusing. You've got to take your Ethereum, get it wrapped, wait for it to get wrapped, and then convert it to Polygon. It's fucking mad. So like, there isn't a normal and easy process. You have to be a dork to you have to fucking invest your time just to be able to play in the space. Nothing is easy. Getting your money into crypto is easy-ish. You use, a wallet, but then moving into Ethereum, and then for these NFTs, you have to have these specific wallets, like a MetaMask wallet. And a wallet in the digital space is not like a real wallet, because if you lose your wallet, you lose all of your money. If there's $10 million in your wallet and you lose your wallet, you'll never get it back. Or if you forget your password or don't write it down, it's on your laptop and you lose your laptop, that money is gone, right? So now you have to have a special wallet for these sorts of NFTs. And depending on the blockchain you're on, you have a different wallet. So some wallets use some blockchains. I know this is sounding boring, but this is me. I'm like, I just want to buy an NFT. I want to get the experience of buying an NFT. This is me. I just want to figure out what this fucking NFT shit's about. I'm going to buy one. For like 2 days, I'm like, how the fuck do you start? Like, how do you even get to an NFT? Then I started figuring out, okay, here's the kind of stock exchange called OpenSea of the NFT space. This is what the NFTs are. And then I was figuring out, okay, this is how you get your money into the wallet. And this is how you do all stuff. So I'm figuring it's all very high risk. You can lose if you know what you're doing. And there's so much scamming. I mean, the thing about the NFT market is like 90% scamming, which I'm going to get to. That's a very important part of the story, which is bananas. Okay, so I'm figuring this stuff out. I'm figuring out, okay, how does all this stuff work? Great. Now I want to buy an NFT. And I start like doing some deep dives, because the thing about buying an NFT, it's the same as like buying stock on the stock exchange. You don't just choose a pretty piece of artwork and you buy it. I mean, some people do that as people got too much money, but like I said, the utility is as important as the artwork. So the kind of general rules to the NFT buying thing is like, one, you should like the artwork. It's quite important that the artwork is at least cool and you dig it and something resonates with you, because that is the actual sort of key. But the utility is the main thing. Like, even if you don't like the artwork, but the utility is worth $1 million, you're still going to buy it. So I start figuring out, okay, you got to figure out the utility. There's a whole lot of things. You got to go to these things like rarity websites, and you got to figure out what is the rarity. I forgot to mention that rarity is an important thing. If you've got 1,000 NFTs in a collection, they're each worth different amounts based on how rare the features are. So, how do I explain this now? Okay, so there's a picture of a wolf and he's a really cool wolf, right? He's a wolf smoking a cigarette. Puff. Okay. Now, there are 1,000 versions of this that are all for sale. The one with the blue background, one with the green background and a cigarette, one with a blue background and a glass of whiskey, one with a green background and a glass of whiskey, one with a yellow background and a hat, one with a yellow background, a hat, and a glass of whiskey and a cigarette, right? So that's your collection of NFTs, all like one central character with all these different traits and features. And you choose the one you like and you one that you can afford. But what makes those more valuable is if the traits are rarer. So like there might only be 1 or 5 on that 1,000 that have a hat and a cigarette, you know. So you're 5, but there's like most of the people have a glass of whiskey. So that's the rarity. So I'm figuring out the rarity. I'm bringing out, this is actually should be quite educational now that I'm thinking of it. So I'm figuring out, okay, you got to figure out the rarity. You got to figure out what's happening. You got to figure out all of the stuff. And then the thing that I'm, and then I see like a basic NFT is like, it's like 2,000 Rand. So, oh my God. So I was like, if I'm going to buy an NFT for 2,000 fucking Rand, that's a high price. I was like, I'm probably going to lose this money, but I want the experience of figuring out this space. Like I said, I just want to get my hands dirty. I want to mess about and go like, oh, this was like to be in the NFT space. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like save 2,000 Rand out of here. I'm gonna put it in here. And I'm gonna commit. I'm just gonna commit. This money is gone. I'm going in, and I'm gonna just buy an NFT. This is my plan. And it's quite nerve-wracking to do because you can fuck it up. So I'm doing all the investigations and I'm figuring out all the stuff. And then one of the things I figure out, and I'm explaining a lot of context because we're going somewhere kind of mad, is that, okay, there's 2 things to do. If you buy a NFT off of the stock exchange called OpenSea of things, they're actually expensive, and that's where it's quite volatile. They based on the demand, but you can actually buy an NFT at the time of its release before it gets onto the stock exchange of NFTs. It's called minting. This is such a huge thing in the NFT space, minting. And what that means is like an artist will say, next week, I'm minting 100 very special NFTs. And everybody sits there like, fuck, I want one. Like if Bored Ape Yacht Club do a mint a new one, literally they break the NFT and the Ethereum blockchain cannot handle even doing anything. They like it's just absurd. Everybody wants to get minted because once it gets onto OpenSea, it's kind of affected by the market value. But you can buy it for a fixed price, except you don't know which one you're going to get. It's like a lottery. You pay a lower price. It's a lottery, and you get this NFT. It's called minting. So I'm getting to my first mint, and this is what my first mint is. I see that Timberland has done a 250 limited edition NFT, and it's a piece of artwork with a beat on it. And the cool thing is, if you mint it, you earn it. You actually get to own the beat, so you can put it in your own song. I was like, that's really cool. I want to own a Timberland beat that I can use and make an own song. That's really cool. That's a utility. Oh, now I'm getting it. There's a utility to this crappy piece of artwork that maybe you like it. I didn't. That is quite functional. I'll buy this. And it was like a 2.5 grand. It was expensive. I was like, okay, this is something I can get my teeth into. And there was like a process of getting to it. Minting day comes on, and I'm like, oh, it's my first mint. I'm feeling nervous, and I'm watching the clock go down or up, and I'm waiting to do my mint. And I notice, like everything in NFT, you can actually track everything. So you can't lie. No one can say I sold 100 when they only sold 50. You can track in real time because all on the blockchain, which records everybody's transactions, you can see what's happening. So I think, oh, I'm going to be very smart here. Because I'm new to NFTs, maybe this is a crappy NFT. Maybe it's not real. So if I see that they're selling really fast, I'll mint it. But if I see that they're selling really slow, I'm just going to relax. I'm scared to spend my 2.5 grand here. So I'm waiting with my finger on the mint button. The minting happens at 6 o'clock. I'm like, yes, this is my first proper NFT. I'm going to own this Timberland beat with this piece of artwork attached to it. Actually, a piece of artwork with a Timberland beat on it because that's the utility. That's the NFT artwork. And then I'm sitting and waiting. And it goes 2 o'clock or whatever time it was. And I'm like, oh, and then I hesitate. I'm like, oh, I don't want to I don't want to do it. I want to. I'm tracking. Okay, let me track. Suddenly, within 20 seconds, they're all gone. 250 of them are gone. And I'm like, oh, I missed it. Totally missed it. I was pissed off. I was like so angry. And it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I was sitting there all day, and I was thinking about it all day, and I missed my minting. Fuck. Okay. Well, I'm learning. This is obviously how these people figure it out. And I was like, I should have just pulled the trigger on the mint. Now I'm getting a bit more comfortable with this space, and I'm starting to figure out, okay, I need an NFT, right? I need this NFT. And I'm starting to learn a lot more about NFTs. Now I'm going to give you another thing about NFTs. I mean, I'm sorry if this is boring you, but it's the only way to describe the story is in all this detail. And there is a piece of content I'm going to give you at the end of this, which, if you follow the story, is quite amazing to actually hear it. Right. So, next thing is Discord. Now, Discord is an app on your phone. It's like a community version of WhatsApp. It's very like, if you're on Discord, it's nothing. But if you're an old fuck like me getting on Discord, I don't know what's going on. My kid's 7. He's on Discord. He figures it out. And it's so complicated to figure out Discord. But all the NFTs are on Discord. That's where all the NFT Discording community, like what builds hype for an NFT. It's kind of Twitter. It's kind of Instagram. Nah, it's Discord. So this is what I'm learning. It's like, okay, if you're going to buy an NFT, firstly, like the artwork. Second of all, the utility has to be cool. 3, check the founders. In other words, there are so many scamsters and rugsters. And I'll tell you what a rug is, because that's important to the story as well in a minute, right? And rugsters and scammers and pieces of shit out there. And a lot of people especially aren't using their real names. So like the founder of NFT's name is like Doc Donkey or like Peanut Butter Brain. And so you're like, oh, fuck, Peanut Butter, and he's so cool. But when the shit hits the fan or they steal all your money, you're not going to go on LinkedIn and find Peanut Butter Brain. He's not there, right? So you got to like check in the founders. Who are the founders? Are they real people? Can you follow their Instagram accounts? Do their Instagram accounts look real? Do the followers on the Instagram accounts look real? You got to like do this deep dive shit before you buy an NFT to make sure that this is a legitimate NFT, right? So that's the first thing. Then you go onto the Discord where they're building a community, and the size of the Discord. Like, okay, so you also check how many Twitter followers they have, how many Instagram followers they have. But you can buy followers on both of those. So you got to also go check the interactions on every single post to check that they're real, because people are scamming you by like making fake Instagram accounts with 30,000 people on them, and you look at it and go, hey, this is a successful NFT. I must trust it. And then you get fucked, right? And this happens all the time. So one of the things, I'll get to that now. Okay, I'll get to a rug in a minute. So then once you're on Discord, this is the real magic, is that you get to interact with the community of all the people who are interested in this NFT or buying this NFT, and they're all on this big channel. Everyone's talking to each other and saying, hey, good day, what's happening? Create the vibes. Hey, has anyone seen the new thing? Here's some news. Oh, the mint is happening in 12 hours. Woo! Oh, I just minted one. Check my one. Hey, look at the price on OpenSea. Dude, I really love the artist. That shit's going on all the time. So one of the things you measure about an NFT is the power of the community, because community is everything. And a community, like if you're a band, the community are your fans, and they're all on one channel. So like imagine you are the band Sausage Head, right? And you've got a Discord at Sausage Head, and all the fans of Sausage Head are on Discord all day long, morning till night, going, yo, we're such big fans of Sausage Head. They're the best. New single coming out. That's what's happening on NFTs all fucking day. These people are sitting there on the Discord. It's like mind boggling. But you've got to go into the Discord, and you have to spend time with the community, because you're figuring out what the demand is. You're figuring out how many, is this community real? How many are these bots in here? Are these robots like talking? Are these real people? Are these people trying to scam me? So you got to put all these things together. So I'm like, right, I'm figuring this shit out. I've got to do all of this thing. Okay, let me tell you about a rug, and then I will move on to the story. I'm already 24 minutes in. Holy shit, I haven't even started the story, right? So a rug, then I'll get onto the story. What the fuck is a rug, right? A rug, this happens all the time. People losing quadrillions. In fact, I'm certain that the Russians are funding their war through rugs, NFT rugs, because one of the things you have to look for when you're looking for a scam NFT is to see if there's any Russian connections, weirdly. And if you're Russian, I apologize, Ski, not to be derogatory, Ski, but that's one of the things that everyone always says. I'm not an expert. That's what they say. I'm repeating what they say. it's most likely are going to be a scam if there's any Russians involved. And I've seen this happen. Aquads, for example. So here's what a rug does. And a rug is what you think it is. So a rug fast builds a community. So what they do is they go, here's some amazing fucking artwork and here's some amazing fucking utility. And this utility is like, motherfucking shit, it's going to be the coolest thing you've ever seen. Probably cost me $10 million, but it's worth it. It's going to be amazing. Okay. Then they like put up a Twitter account. We're a legit NFT. Look, we've got 432,000 followers. They're all fake, but don't you know it? And you're like, oh. So when you're doing your research, you're like, hey, it's got 436,000 followers. This looks like a legit. Then you look at Instagram. Hey, it's got 233,000 followers. That's quite high for these NFTs. They're usually like 10 to 30,000. Then you look at Instagram, oh, it looks totally legit. And they're acting like legit people and they're acting like a big fucking NFT. And then you go into the look at the founders and you check them out. And hey, they've got a bio page, but they don't, something's not quite right. But shit, everyone's so excited about this thing. And they're minting tomorrow and they're in huge demand. They're only going to mint 1,000 and it's going to cost 3,000 Rand or 2,000 Rand for a mint, but they're only minting 1,000. So demand is super high. And everyone's like, oh, I'm going to get in the queue. You got to be the first, because once they've minted 1,000, that's done. That's all there is. And then those have value. Everybody's in there like, the community is going mad. And you're kind of seeing a few red flags, but you're not sure. It looks legit. You're checking to the artist. Everything looks cool. The NFT looks cool. The utility looks cool. Everything looks real. And then you're all waiting there. Everyone's waiting to mint. Then you mint. You pay your 2,000 Rand. Boom. All 1,000 gets sold out. Poof. And then overnight, they all disappear. The Twitter account, the Discord disappears. You don't get your NFT. Everything is gone. They just vanish straight after the mint. So I'm really bad at maths. Let me just quickly do some maths here. Calculator. So that's 2,000 Rand multiplied by 1,000. So they made 2 million Rand. Boof, like that. Okay. And then they do it again. They just keep on doing it. And that's what's happening all the time in the NFT world. So you got to do your homework. Right. 27 minutes into the story, and now I get started. So I'm learning all this shit, right? I'm a baby. I'm figuring this stuff out. I'm not sleeping at night. I'm like doing YouTubing and I'm checking out NFTs. And again, I'm just doing a research thing. I've got 2,000 Rand to spend, and I want to just, I know I'm going to lose it, but I want to have the experience so that I know what NFTs are, because I actually want to launch my own NFT next year as part of my Africa food series, but don't tell anyone that. That's a whole bigger story. So that's part of my agenda. Like, I'm figuring shit out. Right, whiskey time. Okay, so I find my NFT, bro. I do so much research. I find this NFT called Boredsone, Boredsone, and I do 3 days of solid homework on this thing. I'm researching the shit out of it. First of all, the artwork is really cool. I love it, and I can show it to you. Well, I won't, but you can look at it. I will post it as, you'll probably have seen, I'll post it as like on the front page of this episode, so you see what one looks like. And there's 1,000 of them, but I'll post one of them so you can see what they're like. I love the artwork, right? And then I start looking at the utility, and there's something really special about the utility, because I don't really know much about this. Like, the utility is really cooler if you're a gamer or a dev guy. Like, they understand this. So I'm kind of going, I'm having to do double sets of homework. I don't quite understand how cool the utility is, but I can see people are really excited about it. And the people who know what they're talking about are explaining why it's exciting. And it's this amusement park, game park, where you can go into it. It's a digital amusement park. And it's sort of like gambling, but you can spin wheels and earn crypto, and you can go on a big wheel, and people are excited about the big wheel. And these guys have done 3D animations of the whole theme park, and the theme park looks amazing. And they've got all these cool games, and you can buy candy floss. And it was the world's first P2E, right? I don't know what a P2E would, pay to earn. Like, it's sort of like a casino slot machine. So you can go into this thing and you can gamble money, and you can earn lots of money in crypto too. And it was very innovative, and people thought that was super cool. And then the character you buy, that's the character you can go through the theme park on. So Boredsone was these amazing characters. All the animations were cool. They have a Darth Vader one with the lightsaber. He looks really cool. And he's walking around an amusement park, and everyone's like, the candy floss, the big wheel. And I'd seen the animations. They looked really beautiful. But this P2E thing, this pay to earn thing, made it extremely sexy to people, because because it's sexy, apparently. So I'm like, this is really cool. Then I'm like, okay, I need to check the founders. So I check the founders, and they've got LinkedIn profiles, and I half check the LinkedIn profiles, and they look legit mainly. I think I'm sold on them. And what's the next thing? I'm in the Discord. There are 20,000 people in the Discord, and this Discord is pumping. And I'm still kind of new to Discord. I'm like, something isn't quite right about how much this thing is pumping, but it's really pumping. And generally, and I'm like a bit sort of like fevered by this stuff. Spent 3 days in my mind. I've already committed to buying this Boredsone NFT, but I just want to go through the process. I'm like, I'm just going to lose it, but I want to do it, and maybe I'll come lucky. Maybe I'll be one of the lucky ones who earn. Because these NFTs, you buy them for 2,000 rand, you can sell them for 4,000 the next day. Like they fluctuate like mad. You can sell it for 10 times more the next day. So it's very like a palm sweaty and all that shit. So I'm a fucking newbie in this space. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, it's mint day, and I am excited. I got onto the white list, which is a special list for people getting onto who are like the first access to minting. And after my terrible Timberland experience, I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up. So I'm like waiting there, my finger on the button. I've got my MetaMask wallet all set up with the 2,000 Rand of Ethereum in there. I've checked the blockchain. I'm checking all the stuff. I'm ready. I'm like salivating. I'm sweating. I love the artwork. I can't wait to do it. I'm like pressing my button. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Poof. Mint time comes. Woo-hoo. I'm up there like within seconds. I hit that button. My mint is successful. I'm like, woohoo. 2 minutes later, they've sold 200 of the first 1,000 of these NFTs, or 114 to be accurate. 114 have been sold in the first 30 seconds to a minute, and the website goes down. I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. What is going on here? Then I'm in the Discord, and they're going, guys, don't worry about it. Someone's hacked our site. I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good. Is this a rug? Am I experiencing a rug? They're like, guys, it's not a rug. Trust me, it's not a rug. We're going to be up in half an hour. And the website goes up in half an hour. Boom, it's done again. It's done. And the guys say, look, we've been hacked. It's called DDoXed. I mean, this is all fucking terminology I didn't know a month ago, right? We've been DDoXed. It means we've been hacked. Some hackers have hacked us. And it's a big problem. We're going to put this minting on pause. We're going to pick it up another time. Now, the community at this point, not happy, but like, okay, well, this is something. And what I get in my wallet is not the NFT that I'm dying to get. It's a placeholder. It's like a generic little picture of a Boredsone member walking through the theme park like this, which I know well because I've seen it 500,000 times. So I'm like messaging them on the Discord. Why do I not have the NFT? Why that I minted? Why do I have this walking animation is not what I wanted? And they're like, oh, don't worry, that's a placeholder. What actually happens is you've been airdropped. That's what they call like taking your NFT and when you mint it and putting it in your wallet, you've been airdropped a placeholder. And within 24 hours, we're going to do a reveal. And the reveal is like, because you're minting an NFT, you haven't, it's like a lottery. You don't know which one you're going to get. You might get one of the legendaries that's worth 10,000 Rand, or you might just get a lowly 2,000 Rand. You'll never be less than the one you paid, because if you're minting, it's already worth more the moment it goes onto the open market. So my 2,001 Rand should be worth 2.5 or 3 immediately, but maybe I'll get a special one. It's worth 20,000 Rand. So you don't know which one you get. And that's why the reveal is so important, where they're going to reveal the NFT. So in 24 hours, I'm going to get my NFT, and then I'll know which NFT I have. And everyone's so excited. Only 114 of us got. La, 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 la. 24 hours goes by. No reveal. And the founder of Boredsone, at that point, his name is Nate. He goes, oh, don't worry, guys. Little problem. 24 hours from now, you're all going to get your NFTs, and we're going to get the minting site up and running. Everyone's like, woohoo. This is very odd, but okay. These things happen. 24 hours go by, nothing. And now the community starting to get fucking angry, right? Oh, I just want to take a step back. This Boredsone NFT at the time, not now, globally was quite a sought after Boredsone. It was like in lists of most exciting up and coming Boredsone NFTs. There were a lot of high profile, a lot of famous, world famous people, celebrities from all over the world who were endorsing this thing. It was one of the it tracked really well as an exciting NFT because celebrities were endorsing it and buying it, and it was getting so much traction. So globally, this NFT was quite an important NFT at this point, right? So I'd got myself one of these very sought after big ones by just being super quick and all that stuff. So I was feeling pretty chuffed at this point. So then they go, listen, we're going to do an AMA and ask me anything at 2:00 tomorrow. We'll tell you everything that's going on. You can ask us any questions. Don't worry, no problems. 2:00 comes, no AMA, no reveal, no AMA. And now the community is starting to go, what the fuck is going on here? This is the weirdest rug ever because they're still here. They kind of how are they trying to fuck us here? And I'm like, okay, now I'm suspicious. And everyone's trying to be calm. Listen, guys, just be calm. And Nate, the founder's like, guys, just be calm. 24 hours, all this, we're going to sell the reveal. Blah, blah, blah. But after doing that each time, I'm like, this is total bullshit. At some point, I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. And this 20,000 community are getting fucking angry, right? They're like, what is going on? And the 114 people who spent thousands of rands on their NFTs are livid. And suddenly this community is like starting to get super angry. And this goes on for a week of this shit, at least 4 or 5 days. The founder's like virtually invisible. Everyone's like, why the fuck is the founder not here? And the moderators of the channel are like, oh, he's just busy. He's fixing some stuff. Don't worry. Everyone's like, well, he's going to do it. What's the AMA? Oh, he's going to do an AMA. And then he's suddenly not feeling well. No one knows what's going on. And I'm just going along for the ride. I'm like, I've lost my 2,000 Rand. I knew I was going to lose it. This is my NFT experience. At some point, I think like 4 or 5 days in, I'm starting to get more vocal in the community. What the fuck is going on? What are these people doing? This is a scam. I want my money back. In fact, at some point, everyone's going, hey, Nate, give us our money back. This isn't fair. This is a scam. Nate's like, oh, sure, whatever. No, yes, 3. Oh, Nate's not here right now. Nothing is adding up. Nothing makes sense. Total scammerlooly. And people are like starting to lose their shit in this community. At this point, I meet this guy. And I haven't asked his permission to talk about it. In fact, he's just messaged me. So I won't mention his name unless he wants me to. So I met this kind of guy who was a moderator, but way more techie than me. And we started to DM each other. I'm going, what the fuck's going on? I don't know what the fuck's going on. And he's building this little community with a few people. And he's like, let's go into another server. I said, yeah, can you set me up a server? I've got an idea. So we open a second server on Discord, which I don't know how to do. So he does it for me. And I say, listen, dude, something is not right here. And we call this server the Death of Boredsone. Death of Boredsone. So I said, okay, I've got this cool idea for an NFT, right? I don't know how to do it though. It's called Robin Hood. Okay. And here's what we do. Whenever someone gets rugged, this NFT, we steal the artwork because all these rugged guys, they like make some artwork. They show you our pretty, the whole enticing honeypot is like, hey, look at our amazing artwork. We're legit. And then they fuck off and they take all your money. Check out Aquaheads, a great artwork by a real artist, not a real artist, not great artwork, whatever. So so they do that. So I say, all right, what we do is because people have lost their money in this scam, let's turn a bad situation into a good situation. So we'll steal their artwork, we'll sell the NFTs, and then we'll take all the money from the NFTs. We'll sell them dirt cheap for $100 each. And if there's like 50 people, we will do a raffle and we'll give all the money to one person, one of the people who've been scammed. And so like stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, there's people who have been scammed. So every time an NFT goes under or gets rugged, we steal their artwork, we sell 100 of them for $100 and we just give all the money to one person. And by doing so, we turn a scam into a really positive situation. So he goes, okay, cool. Well, let's try it. So we build this little Discord And then because in the main Discord channel, people are just getting crosser and crosser, and even the moderators are starting to like not be there. I'm going in there going, guys, come and check out my Discord, which you are not allowed to do in a Discord server. You're not allowed to do that. You can't promote another server in your server. So that's a no-no. But because it's total chaos, because Nate is basically invisible, the founder has gone AWOL, and everyone is freaking out because the moderators are getting it on the chin because everyone's like, you are protecting these scam artists, and the moderators are like, they don't know what's going on, and they haven't been paid, and no one knows what's going on. Me being in there like going, hey, guys, if you think this is a scam, come over to my NFT project over here and we'll have a chat. So all these people, like 70 people in like a week, come over to my Discord, and suddenly I'm like at the center of this new Discord NFT project, Robinhood, and I'm going like, yeah, why don't we try to do this thing, guys? So the reality is, no one in that community is that interested in the NFT project, the Robinhood one, really, but it becomes a Discord server that is all about like angry people who've been ripped off, who we've still never got our reveal. So we've still never seen our NFTs. So no one knows what the fuck is going on. And they're all in my server, and they're angrier than ever because in the normal server, like their speech is regulated. You can't swear, you have to be polite and shit. In my one, there's no rules. So people are getting fucking crazy. And I become like the leader of these really angry, lovely people, but they're really upset with, they've obviously been scammed a few times, and they try so hard not to get scammed. It's my first one, so I'm like, I thought I was going to get scammed anyway. I'm still angry. I would love to get my 2,000 Rand back, desperate that maybe there's a way to get this back. But I start talking to them, and everyone's just like, fuck these guys, fuck these founders. We're going to find them. We're going to get them. And what happens is, like, in this community of mine that are getting angrier and angrier by the day, there's like some hackers and there's some tech guys. So they go like out into the internet looking for Nate, and they find him, and he's like working on somebody else's NFT project. And I go with them, we jump into the NFT project, go, this guy Nate, he's a scam artist. And everyone's like, what's going on in somebody else's NFT project? And it turns out, like, long story short, he like gets fired from that NFT project, right? And then we like, these guys, like, and for some reason, remember, I've only been in NFTs for 3 weeks. This community are really like, this is my Discord. I'm like the founder of the Discord along with my friend, but I'm very active in the conversations and driving stuff. So they're like, are kind of seeing me as playing a central role in this revenge tactic, right? And I'm just going, guys, do whatever, and I'm just holding the fort. And it starts escalating. And these guys are just going out and doing shit. And they end up making this other guy, this founder of Boredsone, Nate, they make his life very miserable, because it turns out he's actually a paid moderator on other people's NFTs projects or some shit, because he's full of shit. And it's just, I don't know, he's out there, like, they like chasing him around the internet. At some point on a Wednesday afternoon, I'm at Levi, my kid's drum lesson, sitting there. And at this point, I just want to tell you, Nate is fucking AWOL, right? Everyone on Boredsone, the 20,000 people, are hunting him, and he's not there. All the guys on my sort of elite crack troop Discord, they're hunting him, but they're finding him. They are literally proactively trying to find him to make his life miserable. They're like reporting him to the FBI and shit. And the pressure mounts. And then one day on a Wednesday, Nate direct messages me. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Me. And I messaged my friend who started this. I was like, check this out. Everyone's like, how the fuck did he message you? I said, I don't know. He came to me. So I said, hey, what do you want? He says, I need you to call the dogs off. Like, I need to make an announcement to everyone, please, on your server. So I was like, okay, well, before you make an announcement, what is your announcement? He's like, oh, I'm going to do the reveal on your NFTs. This is like 2 weeks in. Like, it's never going to happen. Okay. So, and they can have whatever they want for free. I'm so sorry. It's such a fuck up. Oh, I hate NFTs. I just want to leave. And I'm like, bro, I forgot to tell you an important thing. what made this out to be a real scam is that all the money from the minting got, because you can track it on the blockchain, got withdrawn straight away by 4 bank accounts. So the money was zipped out of that same day that we all minted and spent that money. The money was taken out into private wallets and gone off. So a lot of the more technical guys and I were saying we've been totally ripped. This is illegal. They have totally fucked us. And the reason we know they fucked us, even if they thought it was a mistake, is because they withdrew all the money same day. That's what scam artists do, right? So I'm like, Nate, where's all the fucking money, bro? He's like, it's all gone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. So I say, okay, I don't think you should do that. I said, if you want to do that announcement, fine. But why don't you hand the whole project over? And the thing about Boardzone was they spent, because they spent like $500,000 or $600,000 building this fucking thing up. They spent real money building up this thing. So you got a little empire there. I said, why don't you have totally fucked us and you've left us for dead. The only thing that can save this and turn Boardzone back into the multi-million-dollar business that it should be. One, if you do the reveal today and everybody gets their NFTs, because that's where the value of the project comes from. And two, you fuck off and you hand the Boardzone to the community. Hand all the NFTs, all the artwork, all the amusement park dev work, you hand it to the community. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do it. So then the community gets together and I realize, okay, this could be a fuck up. So I say, listen, don't hand it to the community. Hand it to me. I will run this fucking thing. I will develop and build this NFT project. So he goes, okay, are you the person? You're like, because I started this Discord with this other guy, they see me as the center of this fucking thing. So that evening, we start the process of transferring these items to me. And this is insane. I'm not sleeping, right? I'm working my full normal day shit in the day. And from like 7 o'clock when my kids are asleep, 8 o'clock, whatever, till like 3 o'clock in the morning, I am like on the internet working out a lot of shit because I have just been handed a multi-million-dollar business, this NFT project, for nothing, out the blue, with no fucking experience in this. I started working on NFTs 2.5, 3 weeks before this. 3.5 weeks in, I just got handed this global NFT. And the first thing I got was the NFTs themselves. I got access. I took over the Discord channel and blocked him out. We did. And the Twitter channel and the Instagram channel. And I was looking through all the Twitter messages and the Insta messages. And I've got all these DMs from some of the biggest global stars, all like begging to be part of Boardzone. So I'm thinking, okay, I am way out of my depth right now. I do not know what is going on. I didn't know fuck all about NFTs 2.5 weeks ago. Now I own or manage on behalf of the community, because now my thing is like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm not doing this for me. I'm going to do it to make sure that this community gets their money back. Like if I can make this thing snowball back into what it ought to be, but I've got a shitload to learn. So I'm like phoning friends and I'm asking them for contacts to other friends who are NFT experts. I've got a cousin in America who hooks me up with this proper NFT Uber expert in America who I tell the story to, and he goes like, bro, I've never heard anything like that. That is fucking insane. And I start really going like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to be doing now. This is a mammoth, insane project. I don't know how I got here. But now I'm sitting here with most of the keys to the kingdom. What has not happened yet is the reveal. And Nate is responsible for the reveal. He says, I promise I'll do it this evening. And so the whole success of this thing requires the NFTs to be delivered to the people who bought them, and only he can do that. 24 hours go by, it doesn't happen. 12 hours go by. And I'm now like the king of Boardzone. I'm the new founder. I've called myself founder in waiting. And everyone's like, "Yeah, you're gonna save Boardzone." I'm like talking to developers. I've got the animations for the amusement park. I'm talking to developers about, okay, we're gonna build a P2E amusement park. I need a quote for a development stage. I'm like building all this motherfucking shit. I'm like figuring out how to mint NFTs, how all the blockchains are working. I'm in there fucking deep. I've got this. And if I've got people like celebrities coming at me at Twitter every day, like, we want to be in Boardzone. How do we get into Boardzone? Blah, blah, blah. My head is spinning. I don't know what is going on. At this point, I think the story could have gone in a whole lot of different ways. But it's going to come to such an anticlimactic ending. And this story was so exciting at this point and so mind-boggling that I'd gotten myself from nowhere to this unbelievably strange point. And I actually had spent a lot of time planning how me and this community, we were going to rebuild this thing only at night. It was going to be my moonlighting job, build up this NFT into a multi-million-dollar business, and deliver on all the things that the previous founders couldn't. There's a lot of missing information from the story because I've gone very deep. What happened was, it turns out, and I've befriended the artist who made them, who's super cool. He's French, Belgian. He's French, lives in Belgium, and his artwork is stellar. But what actually happened was, and I didn't believe most of the stuff, but I've done so much research on this. I've met the smart contract guys. The previous founder, this is what happened. The four founders were four lighties in their early 20s with too much fucking money. I think mainly from France. I think, well, I know Nate. Nate was a moderator on their channel. And these four guys they just had too much money. They spent a shit ton of money building this Boardzone thing, but didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And when they got DDoXed, which is hacked, remember? Go back to watch the glossary. When they got hacked, the second time, they were in such a hurry. Like the moderator, Nate, had said to them, "Listen, why don't we wait a month and rebuild this?" They were like, "No, we can't afford to. We need that money now." They were planning, I think they would have made 35 million Rand that hour if they hadn't been hacked, right? In an hour, 35 million Rand in an hour, right? And this is what actually got me so like into this thing. Like if I can build this back up and mint the same 1,000, I can earn 35 million Rand. I can build a business out of that. I can build this thing. That's where my headspace was at. But these guys fucked out, and they somehow gave the business to Nate. They just said, "Oh, we're out. Fuck it." They took all the money that they'd earned. Pieces of shit. They took all our money, and they left Nate holding his cock in his hand. And Nate was a useless fucker. Everything he said to me was bullshit. He's probably watching this. Hi, Nate. Like at some point I sympathize. He's a young kid trying his best in a bad situation, but dude, every single word he said was bullshit. Everything was a lie. The only reason he ever did this reveal, which only happened recently, was because he was legally obliged. If he hadn't done a reveal, he would have gone to jail. That's why he fought so hard. But because he didn't have money to do this reveal, he had every excuse under the fucking book. What fell apart was when I had all the keys to the kingdom, we needed the damn reveal. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And as time went by, the community just completely fucked out and was like, we've been waiting a month and a half, whatever. It's not, this is a scam. We're out. We can't trust this. This is a rug. John, thanks for trying, but no fucking way. And it just died. So then Boardzone went from this epic, crazy NFT mad experience to dead. And over the last 2 days, with yesterday being the last day, I just did a countdown clock and said, all right, I'll tell you a nice happy ending. The artist gave us all the NFT and the source files, which was really kind of him. And I actually put everything, all the NFTs, the source files, the image files, the animation, worth probably $80,000 to $100,000. Everything to do with Boardzone that was given to me, I put it all in a Google Drive and just gave it to the community. I put it on the community on Discord, said, everybody, we're going to close down Boardzone. Like, Nate really fucked us. Like, he fucked us twice. Once they stole all our money. Second of all, because he didn't do that goddamn reveal in the time frame that it was required to actually make this thing come back to life, because he's a piece of shit. There's no chance. And that killed Boardzone. Like even a last ditch effort, I tried to revive it, but it was a pipe dream. So I gave everything away. And then at a countdown, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we killed Boardzone. That is my Boardzone story. Now, what I'm going to leave you with, if you're interested in any of this, is that before, at the height, at some point, like a crucial time of this, when I was the founder of Boardzone a few weeks ago, and I had decided we were going to make a good go of it, but I gave Nate I said, if you do not hear that, that's Discord. If you know Discord, you know that. I said to Nate, it's been weeks. This thing is going to die if you do not do a reveal. Remember, a reveal is actually the reveal of the actual NFTs instead of the walking thing, because that's where the value comes from. By Friday, I'm fucking out and you are fucked. You can go to jail. I don't give a shit. And he said, I promise I'll do it by Friday. So I set up an AMA with the whole Boardzone community for Friday at 5 o'clock. And I said to him, I'm doing this. And if you haven't done the reveal by Friday, I'm going to tell everybody the whole fucking story. I've left out some crucial details, but it'll be in there. And you can go fuck yourself. And if you do it, it's gonna be amazing. I'll give you all the credit. Friday, 5 o'clock came along, no reveal. So I did the AMA. And I'm going to put the AMA at the end of this for you to listen to. You can hear I'm talking to the community and the community are asking questions. And that was like the crucial part. After that, it was all downhill from there. But anyway, I hope that story was not too boring. Thinking about it now, it might be boring because it's so technical and nerdy. But to me, it felt insane. I got to be honest, it felt like one of the most insane experiences of my life. Those few days or that week when I was handed this thing in a market I knew nothing about, with massive support from this community. And I did, just in my defense, I don't know anything about NFTs, but I do know how to build a project and snowball a project. So I felt like I could do this thing, but it was a very, very strange thing. So in that month, I've become like a sort of baby NFT expert. I know how to build mint websites, create them. I know the process of actually creating NFTs. I know the shortcuts. I can build an NFT and a website with the artwork within like 48 hours, and I've done it as well. So I got my experience. I got my mad experience that I wanted to get in, shake things up, make a mess, fuck things out, piss off some people, lose some money, did all of those things. And I got out, and I'm sort of mentally prepared for my NFT project next year. But I just wanted to share with you, this is my first of my Whisky Storytime Hours. I hope that one wasn't too boring. The next one is going to shock you many times over, the one I'm going to do with Cole, and I look forward to that. So I'm going to sign off. Cheers. Thanks for drinking whiskey with me for tonight for an hour. And if you're interested, because I might board your fucking heads off, I'm going to put the AMA I did at the end of this, just so you can hear it, because it's, to me, it's just an interesting perspective. And again, the AMA is me chatting on Discord to the community and answering questions. Right. Lots of love. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, this is the AMA that we did on Saturday, the 14th of May at 5 p.m. EST time. That's 11 p.m. for me. There's a bit of a weird delay, like a sort of echoey sound, because I sort of decided very last minute that I want to record this explanation. So please bear with it. There's lots of actually really good information, everything about where we are, how we got here, and potential of where to go forward. And then right after the AMA, I just want to say I got an email from Nate threatening me and saying, let me just find the message. It says, "Hello, John Savage. You know what you're doing is illegal." I'm not sure how. "You speak as a Boredsone entity," which I'm not, "that does not endorse you." That's interesting because when I spoke to Nate during the transfer, he said Boredsone isn't an entity, that they never registered as a business. So I don't know what he's talking about there. It says, "Now that I finally have the money to make the reveal," well, when you listen to this, you'll hear about that. "I'm looking with the dev to make the airdrops and reveal either today or tomorrow." Yep, whatever. "We've never made an official transfer, which means you, John Savage, are in possession of information and property that does not belong to you, that Nate, you sent to me. Please respond to this email as soon as possible so that we can make the transfer official and legal," which I have no I'm done, as you'll hear on the story. Anyway, so that's just the context, and please bear with the sound quality. There's some really good questions that come in as well, and that is, here we go. All right, guys, thank you. Should we get started? All right. Thank you all for being here, and I'm going to tell you a long tale about how we got where we are. It's been a very, very strange and frustrating few weeks, and I guess we need to make a decision what we're going to do next. At sometimes there's been a lot of hope and sometimes not, but we think we have some sort of level of a game plan. Anyway, hello everyone, I'm John, and firstly I just want to apologize about one thing, and that is my intention for the last few weeks since we've been doing this is to be as really open and transparent as possible, but then we got a bit secrety, and the reason that we did was because we were in a very kind of stressful negotiation, and anytime one of us, me and KME, kind of spoke to the community about what was going on, they got very angry, and it made everything like get even slower and very more difficult. And so that's why we sort of started to just cage up a little bit. So we apologize, but I'm going to tell you everything now, and very happy to take any questions. So this journey all started with all of us falling in love with this project, and I was one of you guys who just loved it and went along for the ride. And then we all experienced the DDoS that kind of killed the mint. Well, didn't kind of kill the mint, killed the mint, then they kind of bring it back, and that didn't work either. And the next thing we knew, the founders were gone, and there was Nate in the room, who was the new founder, and he was saying, there's going to be a reveal in 48 hours every day, and then we're going to do an AMA in the afternoon, and then nothing, and then eventually got quieter and quieter and quieter until there was nothing. And then after that, so after a couple of days of very frustrating talk, I met KME, and we started this, what was called Death to Boredsone server. And the idea there was just to, what we said, just came up with an idea of Robin Hooding this, and like going, well, we've obviously been rugged, and why don't we just take the collection and put it all out at like 0.01 ETH, and then do a little raffle and give all the money to one of the people who had been rugged. It was a bit of fun. And during that time, a lot of people in the community were getting more and more angry with these founders, and nothing made any sense. It was a scam, what was going on, and the pressure started mounting. And then we went, as a group, we went out looking for this guy, Nate, which we, eventually found. And one of the weird things was during that time, we were getting messages from mods and people from other servers to say, look, this guy, Nate, you're after, he's not the guy you're after. It's it's some other people. And we didn't know what to think. Personally, I haven't believed anyone any of the time during this thing. All right, so that's the preamble. Now I'm going to get into the stuff that, sort of more of the gory details of what I think has happened. Then I'm going to tell you how we got what's been happening the last few days, and then most importantly, what has happened today. Because so at some point, I think we were making Nate's life quite miserable. So he came to me and he said, look, can you call the dogs off? I'm going to make this announcement. I'm going to do the reveal today, and everyone's going to be happy. And he made that announcement, and guess what? No reveal, which has become like the bane of my life, because every single day, and I'm not putting Nate down here because I'm going to explain as well. Every single day I've been told the reveal is going to happen today, 100% guaranteed. And then there's some story, whatever. I don't know if I'm telling the story coherently, but I'm building up to something. So feel free to ask any questions or interrupt me or get some clarity on anything if you want. Anyway, the long story made very long. We negotiated with Nate to hand over the whole collection to myself and KME for now, with the intention of finding all the assets, going through the assets, seeing what's salvageable, coming back to the community and rebuilding. Because the one thing about this project is the roadmap is so cool. People are really excited about it. and we felt very passionate that we could work as a team. And just a little bit of background, something, it's very much in my wheelhouse, which is why I was excited, building big teams and building big projects, not necessarily in the NFT space. So I thought, okay, this is not me doing this for me. Let me take on this stuff and do this quietly and methodically and build this puppy up so that we all can get what we paid for and actually maybe save this thing. And I was quite aware that the chances were low, but we were going to give it a good shot. And over the next couple of days, I really got excited. I started getting the assets, and I got the entire NFT collection. We got access to the Discord, the Twitter, and the Instagram, all from Nate. And we got a whole lot of dev files that I thought were going to be the amusement park development files, so that I thought, okay, well, there's something we can all work with. I wanted to come back to the community and say, this is what we have. How do we feel about rebuilding this? Then I looked through the files, and a couple of things that have really bugged me is that, first of all, the folder labeled 1,000 NFTs is incomplete. And I've been speaking to the artists, the animators, everyone who's worked on this project. We've spoken to all of them, with the exception of the original founders, which I'll tell you now. And then the files, the dev files for the amusement park, are not dev files. They're actually just Blender files. So I've got all the designs of the amusement park, but there's no dev work done there. So we put that all together and went, okay, this is a big project. We need a really solid team. So we started talking to devs and building this thing with the full intention of coming today, or in a week or so, and saying, right, reveal is happening this afternoon, and all having the reveal organized. This is the new roadmap. This is the new team. Let's get everything on board. My phone has just gone down. So I hope you're still following me. Just put your hands up once and then down if you're still following me. Just want to make sure I've got everybody still. Okay, cool. One person. Okay, you're all there. All right, I hope this story's not boring you. There are lots of points, and I think I'm just building up to questions anyway. So then I started to get very suspicious of everything, and I think KMI and I did some extremely deep super sleuth work. We wanted to find out what was going on, who were the original founders, is this a rug? That's the big question we all wanted to ask. What is this a rug? Are we getting scammed again? Am I falling into the same trap? Who are all these people? And now I'm going to tell you all of the things we found out, and then I'm also going to tell you Nate's side of the story, because he's not here to defend himself. And for me personally, we've had a terrible experience dealing with Nate. And he is a moderator. So this is what we have gathered. And that is, again, we're also speaking to the smart contract guy. He's been building the smart contract. So we have got lots of sort of supporting stuff. It seems like there were a lot of founders when this project started, and they had a lot of money but no experience. And what I see from the roadmap is a great idea, but when I look at the assets, I see no real expertise. And that's why we were actually very excited a week ago, because we were like, okay, well, I can get the right expertise. We started to speak to some of the top NFT guys in the world. We started speaking to some of the top dev guys in the world, and we were like, okay, we're going to build this with a proper team, because what I see here is a team who don't know what they're doing, but very, very eager to throw money at this. And from what I've heard, I've also been speaking to the artist who designed them, who's very, very sad that this thing has happened and no one has seen the collection. And he has also said there were lots of founders, and they were always fighting, they were always disagreeing, and they were throwing money at this project. Then, and this is the part where it gets a bit movie-like and a bit insane, and I have been sort of sworn to secrecy, but I was on the basis of a handover of the deal. So I'm telling you everything that I know. Then what happened was a series of really unfortunate events, which sound unbelievable, which is why I had to do so much research and KME to find out if this was plausible or not. First of all, there was the hack, the DDoS, and that did mess up the mint. Nate, at this time, was part of the team. So Nate's role is he is actually, and I've spoken to other servers, because he's been fired off one or two other servers because of this whole project and us going to complain. He is a very good server operator who has a lot of experience. I think he's quite young, but he's been doing server, like managing moderators on other people's things. According to him, the founders did absolutely fuck all on this project. And so he just took up the role as the main person, and he said he was doing all the work, the founders were doing nothing, and eventually he was sort of running the project. And but he wasn't a decision maker at the time. So when the DDoS happened, he went back to the founders and he said, guys, we need to stop this and wait a month and rebuild everything, get the community back on board, make sure that the web server is safe, and do this again. That was his recommendation. They said, no, we don't have time. We want to get the money back. Let's get this thing straight on. And then they redid the remint like an hour or two later. It failed again. And because they lost all the money, they didn't make as much money as they thought. This is where the story gets a bit weird. They all, according to the Etherscan reports, they just took the money out. I think there was 30 ETH in there. I might be wrong about that. If Kami's here, you could correct me. I don't see him. There was like 30 ETH in there that they made from that pre-mint. I think they minted about 140, and then I see now 400 have been minted, and that's because I've now looked through their Twitter and Instagram. They obviously gave a lot of mints away to marketers. They apparently were in debt. The story is that they went bankrupt during the mint and they owed so much money they didn't know what to do. So they took, the part that I find absolutely angering and unforgivable is that they just took all the money out supposedly to pay other debts, and they fucked off. And they kind of said, this is the story I've heard, is they don't want anything more to do with this project. They handed it to Nate, and Nate thought that he could save the project, but he couldn't, and I'm going to get to that as well. So Nate, there's another part of the story, and I don't know where this happened. Nate then lost the wallet key from the wallet that is tied to the Boredsone collection. So even if you guys do get your mint, and I'll get to that in a minute, get your reveal, that wallet is locked at this point. So that created a whole, and that really kind of scared everybody off. And then Nate was kind of on his own. So then this gets more complicated. So, and this will also give you some opportunities to consider depending on your level of anger here. I spoke to the smart contracts guys, and one of the smart contracts that were built for Boredsone are done by like a really great smart contracting guy. And one of the things that he does that is kind of special is that his smart contracts aren't only online in the Etherscan. He uses real world lawyers so that people are accountable for things. So if somebody runs away, they're actually accountable in the real world. And that's one of the things that's the one signal for me that that Boredsone was not a rug to begin with. It had real intentions because they spent money on this guy doing really smart contracts that held people accountable. And that's part of where the struggle that Nate has now. So Nate owns the contract as Boredsone, and he is legally obliged to do the reveal. And his intention has been for a month to do this reveal, but the gas fees keep going up and down, and I don't know, every day there's a new saga. So when we first started this conversation, I was like, listen, bro, this community is really angry. This is what we want. We want all of the assets. We want you to do the reveal, pay for the reveal. It's your problem. Hand over the wallets, and let's move forward. And then we will take it to the community and move this thing forward. He agreed to that. And in his defense, he was very much trying to do that. And on the first time, with a lot of bullshit in between, to be honest. I mean, there was so much back and forth, and he got cross with us every 5 minutes. And if I ever told the community what was going on, he got super cross. And it was just an absolute 4 or 5 hour a day saga of talking and back and forth. But essentially, he gave us access to some of the things. He sent me this incomplete folder of NFTs and things. And then we were just waiting for the reveal. So we were just building up to come back to the community with a lot of positive news. And then the reveal didn't happen. And then the next day, the gas fees were too high. Then the next day, the smart contract wasn't ready. Then on the one day, he said he's been waiting for a month or 3 weeks to put this out. We checked the smart contract. It had only been up for 40 minutes. So we're like, what is true? What is not? Nothing makes sense. Eventually, this just carried on and carried on. And in the last few days, we've seen like Boredsone is death. I've seen that it's dead, and like I'm kind of saying, if we're going to rebuild this, we don't have a lot of time. So you need to commit to a reveal and a handover so we can come back to the community. And he said, absolutely, I'm game. That was 3 days ago. It didn't happen because the gas fees were high. Didn't happen again. So this morning, actually this afternoon, we were supposed to meet. I said the other thing is we want to meet the founder. We want to meet one of the founders to confirm that you, Nate, haven't stolen this and they're not dead. That's the one piece of confirmation we need. And we actually had a meeting set up today that we have missed intentionally because last night we kind of said, look, I've made this AMA. I'm going to tell everybody the story. I don't want to say, ta-da, the reveal is going on, or it's just happened, or I want to say, look, there's no chance of this happening. So that's kind of what, I'm sure I've missed some of the story. You can ask questions. That's how we have gotten where we are. And right before this AMA, I got a message from Nate to say, hey, I'm going to do the reveal right now. So I didn't respond because I'm like, I've heard that every day for 2 weeks. So you might get a reveal today, guys. It might happen. The reality is that what's that going to do now? It's too little, too late. So before I hand over to the floor, I just want to put a couple of options on the floor for you guys. We have spent a lot of energy and we're very passionate about this project, and we can't do this without, if we're going to do this, and let's say by some total miracle, Nate manages to do the reveal tonight, because we've told him today we're done. I unfriended him on Discord. I was like, I cannot listen to one more piece of crap out of your mouth anymore. I'm done. And so I don't know if the reveal is going to come. I believed firmly yesterday that there was so much pressure on him because he is legally, right now, if you have a legal case against him if you wanted to, because he is legally obligated to do that reveal. He is trying, but with the gas fees going mad, he has to spend like $8,000 or $6,000 to actually do this thing. So he's struggling with that. And fair enough, if that's true. But where's the rest of the money? I want to know. Anyway, digressing. So there's a couple of options here, and I just want to be realistic about it. I think at this point, to build the Boredsone back up, if the community is really for it and really believes in it and we can all work together, I'm willing to give it a go, but a lot of my passion has been really deflated with how this has happened. We've been ready to go, and you can speak to, I wish K-May was he's on a flight. Like, we've been at our wits' end for a long time, and we have put, I'm a very busy guy working on massive projects. I've put so much time into this thing. 2, we could take the community that we have and we could consider a new direction. And that's probably like as good as starting a new NFT. The difference is we've got a bit of a following here. We could start like with that. And the third one, which is going back to the original one, which I'm kind of into because of the ease of it, and it's the thing that I feel has the most chance of success for us as a team. And that is, I have most of the NFTs, regardless of whether that reveal happens from Nate tomorrow, today, in 3 weeks, in 6 months. It's going to be worthless because there's no, they're beautiful pictures. That's what you're going to be paying for. You got paid for these beautiful pictures. There's nothing behind it. So I want to consider, and I'm not selling this to you, the community guys. I'm just putting it as a suggestion. My Robin Hood idea is quite a good one if you look at what we have now. And what that would mean is I would take the 500 NFTs I do have, with your permission and with your support only. I would create a mint site around this, like we could call it the Robin Hood mints. And just let me tell you the Robin Hood concept quickly. The concept is to basically find rugged and scammed NFTs, projects that have been, that the founders have left, basically steal their artwork, create a collection, sell it for cheap, like 0.02 ETH. I actually think we should do it on the Polygon network because I don't want us to spend money unnecessarily on this project. However many, let's say we sell 400 of them, we take all the money from that 400 and we give it to one person in a raffle. And we'll do the raffle live on Insta, take it out of a hat so that it's fun. We could do smaller ones because I've got the legendaries. There's a lot we could do with that. And then we've kind of turned a bad situation into a good situation. I'm sorry, we've all lost our money, but maybe one of us gets a good payout for it. And everyone gets a bit of fun, and we could do this with a group of rug projects. So that's just a really silly idea, which I'm kind of into about doing, because it just makes this awful experience into something usable and doable. And you actually don't know, maybe there's a future to that project, and the NFTs that we create from this could create value. It's not going to do well for our floor prices and anything, and maybe there's a smarter way to do this. But right now, that's all the information I have. I might have forgotten stuff, but that's where we are. And I'm not here trying to be negative. I'm not here trying to... I'm just giving you the absolute bare bones. I still see some potential, but we're going to have to be smart and agile and flexible enough to do something cool and quick. So the cool thing about the Robin Hood idea is it's really cool, it's really quick. We could turn this around and maybe make some money doing it and build a little NFT project together. The problem with going back to the original roadmap is we're going to start from rock bottom, build this community back up, spend months doing that. We're going to need some capital, so we're going to have to mint this whole NFT collection to raise that capital, or find someone, an investor. That's a lot of work. It's doable, because the one thing about Boredsone is the concept is so hot. It's so good. So, but it's just at this. If it was 2 weeks ago when this whole community was still kind of present and kind of into doing something and kind of bringing it back, but these 2 weeks have really sort of taken all of the air out of the balloon. Excuse me, in my opinion. Anyway, I feel like I've spoken a lot. I might have missed a lot. Let's open it up to you guys and hear what you have to say. Who wants to say something? Or ask any questions, or vent your anger, because I know there's been a lot of requests for refunds. I actually put, right before this whole thing, I put a whole request for a refund. There's no money here. We're sitting on a great brand name and a collection of great artwork, but nothing else. And with that, I throw to the floor. I see people are leaving the room because probably in anger, but that is the brutal truth where we're at. Anybody want to ask anything? I don't see anybody who has a question or any interest. Maybe no one's interested anymore. Okay, here we go. The brain. Are you there? How do I get you on the stage here?
Yes. Wow, it was great listening to the story, John. Yeah, I mean, it's not time for anger anymore. I mean, we need to do something. And thank you so much for the details and what's been behind the scenes. It's so well, it's good. I think everybody should hear a story, should know a story. I think keep it up. I think we should have recorded it or write it somewhere. I think it's a fun. Fun. Well, not so fun because of the money, but well, something is happening, right? So it's not a full rugged event. So we still have some hope. Thanks to you. So thank you. By the way, who is Nexus?
I have no idea. He just helped me set. He was the first guy in the room, so I brought him on to do a test, like what do you call it, an audio test.
Okay, it was a developer or something. Okay, no problem. No, I think first of all, thank you for proposing an option for award. You have experienced the original team, so looks like it's Bernard Trophy, according to your conclusion. And you know them better than all of us, so you know if your conclusion is they are not trustworthy to follow their track, we need to find another track. You propose an option. I think it's a very good option because I don't have a better option. But maybe we should have this community for a better option. But I think you did the analysis. If you don't have big money, you're not going to go far. And it's going to take time to raise money. Considering the project how it is, it's going to be very tough to raise money. There are other projects much more stable have a hard time raising money, so this one will be tough. But we'll never know. But I just wanted to say thank you. I have no magic, nothing to propose. I just wanted to say thank you, and I'll stay with you and try to work with you on any solution. That's all.
And thank you. I really appreciate that. I've been hyper aware, and I just want to say this, that I might have seemed like a bit dictatorial on this thing, and that was not my intention. I just wanted to lead us through the mess, because I've been in I've like had to deal with difficult situations, and I thought too many people, too many opinions. I just want one strong person to try and get us through. And that's why I might have seemed that way. It was not my intention just to sort of do it my way. My intention has been to do the dirty work and try and like really wrestle this thing back, and then sit with you guys and say, what do you want to do with it? And that's also why I know we got a lot of questions and I wasn't giving satisfactory answers. And that's because, again, I was spending so much time fighting with Nate. He was like saying, don't tell the community this thing. And I was like, I need to... I forgot to tell you one very important thing. Nate, this is the one thing I can't understand. Nate is very, very, very protective of the founders. He will not share their information. And Cayman and I have done... We've got email addresses and phone numbers. He was very adamant that we don't contact them, and that's why he was going to set it up. That's the one thing that doesn't add up. He's very, very protective. He does not want this community to know who they are or go after them. And his one condition of us doing this transfer is that nobody goes looking for the founders. I forgot to mention that. That's quite an important thing. So if you do want to go look for them, do it. But and you could probably get the info from KME if you want it, because we've got it all. Sorry, that's me babbling again. Who wants to talk? See, some more people want to speak here. Let me just bring up...
I just want to say thank you for what you have done and the time from yourself and your cash that you take for just look at all this rug and, thank for all this. Let's see where it goes, We never know. I know we have the brand, we have the NFT, we have all this. Probably, people that are good for the project, but we need fiat or cash from the outside. So let's see where it goes. Thank you for all this.
Cool. Well, thank you for that. Also, by the way, sorry, I didn't mean to mention I am recording this. It was KMA's idea to record this and then put it up so that other people who are not here can listen to it later. I hope that's okay with everyone. I meant to ask everyone if you were cool with that.
Great, just cool.
Wonderful. Who's next? Syntax.
For taking up the project under your own. I know that's a big thing to do, especially because a lot of us just kind of like left. I know when the mint first happened and like they extracted that money like the first day, I was kind of like, all right, well, this is kind of fucked.
I'm so cross about that. Yeah.
Other than that, I guess I just have a couple questions. So you were saying that Nate was going to be liable because of the smart contract for releasing actually doing a release. Now, are you behind that now? Like, are you liable for it? Like, is that your ownership right?
So,
or is that still connected to Nate because I guess he can't transfer that contract to anyone right now since the wallet's locked to him, right?
So this has been the tug of war, and that's a great question, and thank you for asking it. And we me and Kay and I, the first thing we did was we went into super duper research mode, and we wanted to protect the community and ourselves. And the deal we made with Nate was hand us everything now, no strings attached. And that was also a big negotiation. So I got the email address, but it was a new email address because I wanted to look through the history of the email address to see what was there, but he made a new one for us. I got the Boredsone one. He gave us the Twitter logins, which was very useful because we went in and looked through all of the Twitter conversations with everyone they had. We found some receipts and all sorts of things in there. He gave us the Instagram handle and he gave us the Discord, but he made a backdoor, by the way. So this is also important that, all these red flags are going off. He gave us the Discord, but he made a secret backdoor so that it was a new, I don't know the technical, KMA can tell you if you ask him. It was he made himself some sort of technical operator under a different pseudonym. But KMA found that and closed that door, and he was pretty upset about that we removed his mod up things because I didn't trust him. I didn't trust him. I actually think he's just, right now, my actual belief, he's not a criminal. He's just a very, very young, inexperienced, totally incompetent child because it's like negotiating with a child half the time who's getting upset for all the wrong reasons. and he's got himself in a really bad situation. I think he saw a great opportunity to take on Boredsone, and he was going to get rich quick, and it just all fell in his face. That's what I really think happened. But once I saw where the problems were, the deal I made with him, give me all of this stuff unconditionally now. Then I want to speak to the founders, and I want to do my own research, and we're going to go through every single thing to make sure this project is legit. Then I want you to do the reveal, and after the reveal, because here's the problem, is that even after the reveal, it's linked to a smart wallet that he has. And this was something we spent 8 hours trying to get around this. He's actually got the password, the 12 words to the wallet. But the agreement was that at the moment of transfer, of the reveal, which it'd be hilarious if it happens tonight, and I know this is going to be my luck, it will happen tonight. On the day that the reveal happens, he will hand me the wallet. I want to check that the wallet is all legit, and at that point he can hand me he will transfer me the ownership of the smart contract. But because the reveal never happened, I never got the wallet, obviously. I even said to him, why don't you, if money is the issue, give us the smart wallet now with the money for the reveal in, even if it's short, and we will pay and we'll take the risk on the extra, because I said the only way it's going to work is if the reveal happens when we say it's going to happen. The community doesn't have trust. I want to be able to say to the community, the reveal is going to happen on Friday, then it happens on Friday, and everyone's like, yay, trust is restored, we can build this project. But we never got there. And he never had enough money. He didn't trust us enough to hand us the wallet. So we didn't get the reveal. We never got the wallet, and we didn't get the transfer. And the reality is, and I'll tell you this now, if the reveal goes through tonight, I'm not going to take transfer. I don't want it anymore. It's too much trouble, and I think it's too far, unless somebody here thinks it's a good idea. So that's how we protected ourselves from that, is we don't have the transfer of the smart contract. Our idea with Robinhood was to actually change the OpenSea address, start a Boredsone Robinhood address, and then start again with a new smart contract on the Polygon network. And that's still what I kind of want to do. And then just burn that first collection. And then my other idea was anyone who bought from the first collection, you get a free one from the Polygon network on the other one. I know it's not the same, but the other one is worthless anyway. Sorry, that was a long answer to a short question. Next question. I'll try and make the answer shorter.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's good to have someone that actually fucking cares about the project and is like sitting here trying to actually tell us everything. So, like, trust me, it's nice to hear that, especially from the previous founders being so dodgy. My second question that I have is, you have the folder of up to 1,000 Boredsone right now? I think you were saying, or it was incomplete up to 1,000?
So this is my...
Do you have the tools to complete the rest of the collection as of right now? Or is that something you're going to look forward to for the relaunch?
Okay, so this is a good question as well. And this is a good question, and I've got a complicated answer. I only realized this is on me. I've had this collection for the last week, and I've always kind of scanned through it, but it wasn't the artwork that was the center of my attention. I just wanted to know that we had it. It says 1,000 NFTs on it, and it's numbered 1 to 1,000, but now that I've gone through it, there's a lot missing. And what I suspect has happened, because I actually cut off today, about 2 hours ago, I cut off communications with Nate because he was saying, I'm going to do the reveal right now, I'm going to do it right now. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I just cut that off. So I haven't gone back to find out, but my assumption is that he's actually taken out of the collection the 400 mints that are going out for his reveal. And that doesn't help me. If we're going to do a new collection, I don't have the full collection. So I did chat to the original artist today and said, also the JSON files are not there either. So he didn't send me the JSON files, which I'm pissed about as well. And he didn't send me the full collection. And that means doing the new one is going to be trickier. But even if we do it as Robinhood. But the artist has told me he would love to help. He's completely saddened by this whole thing. He loved this project. He's the one who told me that the founders were like, there was a lot of arguing. He told me he signed a contract with him. There's no way he can provide me with the outstanding. He's got the full 1,000, and he can't provide me with the rest of them. The only way this could happen is if I went back to Nate and begged him for them. and I don't think I've got that any of that energy left. If someone else wants to do that, go for it. So I'm kind of thinking, well, let's do it with what we do have. I've got 14 of the 21 legendaries. I've got a lot of good ones. And then your other question, yeah. So the idea was we just have to start it again on the Polygon network. So you have two collections, half of it on Ethereum, half on Polygon. Not ideal, but I don't know what else to do with that. So if I can convince, what I actually said to the artist today is, could he reach out to the marketing company he signed the contract with and see if they would mind if they gave us the rest of it. Because maybe they don't care, and maybe they'll give it to us. If I get the rest of the collection in the JSON file, then I have the full thing and we can do this. Next question.
Thank you. And my last question is, I have gone through the Meta Engine Discord and the Meta Engine website and everything, and I can't find a single proof that they've actually developed a single thing as of this point. So, I guess this is a two-part question. One would be, have you been in contact with the developers at Meta Engine regarding whether this game was actually even being talked about? And are you planning to work with Meta Engine in the future to deliver the amusement park, say, if everything goes well? Or would you look to, find a different company to hopefully help with that?
Another great question. My understanding was, and this is because there were some pennies dropped in the middle of some conversations where when KME brought up Meta Engine, he said something like, no, we didn't use Meta Engine in the end. But I have been given what I'm told is all of the assets and all of the files that have been in development. And then when I looked at them, they were all Blender files. So I only have the designs, and it looks like there's been no dev. So we didn't get as far as talking to Meta Engine at this point because it was my understanding that I had been given everything up to this point. So whether we work with Meta Engine or another dev team, I started working with another dev team for this, but it was just research. I've got no preference at this point because my idea is and was that if we do this again, we need to actually work with you guys. There's a lot more capable and technical guys on this team, and I think we should make decisions like that together. What I recognized is that the previous founders had no idea what they were doing. So if we're going to do this again and build an amusement park, let's do it smartly, let's use the best people, and let's talk to the community and involve them in the decisions like that. So no, we could speak to Meta Engine. I don't think any work's been done. My general feeling is they wanted to mint the shit out of that day, sell out the 1,000, and use that money to start the dev work. I think that by that point, when the mint died, they had no money and nothing got done. And what I do see is that there's quite a lot of animations made. They spent quite a lot of money on design stuff. So I think it was all marketing. I don't think they did any dev. I could be wrong about that, but there's been no conversation about any dev work actually being done. And I brought it up a few times and just had very sketchy answers.
Gotcha, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anything about Meta Engine, so I would honestly say not to work with them, just because I don't even know. I can't find anything about them online, and that's just coming from me. That's someone that is avidly trying to find stuff about it. So if you're just a casual NFT investor and you're like, oh, okay, let's go check out Meta Engine, and then you find their previous website that looks like that was a rug pull or whatever, and they disbanded their previous project and made this one, which seems to be delivering nothing. So I don't know. It just removing the whole Meta Engine piece from Boredsone would be, I think, important to do because that itself would raise questions to potential investors coming in.
Sure, and I don't care. If Meta Engine, if you were passionate about, if this whole community was passionate about using Meta Engine and it was a deal breaker, I would definitely say let's do that. Another thing I've just remembered, because Kami has done so much work as well, and he hasn't had a chance because he's traveling to actually speak on this thing. But one of the things we have noticed, I think they spent a lot of money on Boredsone, but it was all on marketing. We have seen so many deals on the smoke and mirrors part of it, which, the hype building. One of the things that has really, and I think some people were talking about it earlier, the amount of bots and fan bots on all of the social media pages and in Discord. Kami's been deleting them one by one, but it was like sort of 70-30 in the wrong way. So like 70% of the fan was all paid for. So I think they were just spending money on marketing and animations and pictures and image and building hype. And I don't think they knew what to do with the next part of it. I think it was all talk, and I think they just thought they'll make as much money as they can from the mint, and they'll use that to kind of learn or get involved in the next process or do the dev work. So I don't think there's anything of substance. And that's what the one thing we've said amongst ourselves and on the Boredsone staff thing is like, we've got a great little community here, and I'm still getting tweets every day from some big stars who want to be involved in this particular thing, and it's we can do something else with it if we can build the amusement park, or we can figure out something better to do. Maybe we want to feed the poor, whatever we want to do. There is an opportunity to do something like that. But I mean, just for reality, there's like eight people on this AMA. So it's a good reflector of where we are in reality. Is that if we're going to build this, we're going to have to work really hard at it.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, John.
Cool, guys. Thank you. Sorry, what was that?
I appreciate your time and putting it into this project. I hope we can make something happen with it, but I wouldn't get too stressed about it if not. It seems that the previous founders kind of left it in shambles, and I think the people that were here won't come back, so I don't know.
Well, if anybody's keen on the Robin Hood thing, I think it would be fun, but I actually would need everyone to buy into it. It's no point me liking it and nobody else liking it, so it'll just be shouting into an empty room. But I kind of think there's something cool in there, but it's not long term, it's not helpful. It's just to try and at least make this terrible experience into something that we can look back and have a laugh about, especially if somebody earns 10 ETH or 20 ETH out of a little raffle, that would be so cool.
My thinking is I cannot agree that long-term plan are not going to fly, and the best shot is to do a short-term activity. And this one sounds cool for me. Well, that's my first impression,
Awesome, thank you for that. Anybody else in the room want to have say anything? I don't see any other hands. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've forgotten. Anyway, thanks for coming on this adventure, everyone. It's been real. Yeah, I think that's about it then. I will wrap this thing up unless anybody has any last thoughts. And my other idea was, and I don't know if this will work or not, maybe to do, at least I was even thinking about doing AMAs every day for a week. Just to start the conversation, just to have people put in their ideas and think about things and consider stuff. I mean, if there's going to be, I know the Titanic is currently at the bottom of the ocean, but I wonder if we just meet every evening or whatever time this is, wherever you are in the world, just to have a little open chat, not to tell the story, but just to spitball and brainstorm where the opportunities might be here. Then maybe after 4 or 5 days, we build it up, and maybe there's 50 people in the room after a week or two, and there's something kind of humming. But, let me know. Chat in the chat or disappear forever. Only time will tell. Cool, guys. All right. I think with that, we can call it a night. It's midnight where I'm at. I don't know where you guys are. I hope you're all good and well. And, is there a video mode on this thing? I can show you some of the pictures. That would be cool. I don't know if you can do that, hey. Doesn't look like it. Anyone know if there's a video mode? No. Doesn't look like it. Okay. I'll find a way to share some of the the images because their characters are really cool. There's some amazing shit here. Cool. All right, guys. Have yourself great days, all of you. I'll post this, the recording, or somewhere. I'll get Cami to post it somewhere, and then you guys can share it or destroy it. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.